Hi, everybody. I think I'm on live. Yeah, I am live. Okay. Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee here. Friday night, the 7th of June, 2017. I'm going to probably keep this longer live stream a little shorter than usual just because it's a Friday night. We've got a nice weekend of weather ahead for my neck of the woods, eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England. So we'll get you all up to date and then you can go on your merry way to enjoy your Friday night. There's one system here on the satellite loop that is really dominating things in the eastern half of the U.S. You've got this spinning upper low, and you can see the rotation on the satellite loop, and you have all that tropical moisture that was in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico back days ago has now been drawn northeastward. And you look at this and you think, how is it that we're not going to wind up with some issues this weekend? It just seems so overwhelming in terms of the amount of moisture extending down to Florida, going all the way back west to Louisiana, and then where you have the upper low, you've got clouds spitting back through Oklahoma and parts of Kansas. Well, there is one saving grace out of all of this, and I think if you we'll show you on a close-up satellite view of what's happening. So we've been talking about the fact that there's a deep upper low that is going to be heading up toward east of Newfoundland and setting us up in this blocky pattern that we have for the weekend and into next week. But if you look carefully on this loop, you'll see those clouds up in the St. Lawrence Valley on the upper right moving through Maine. That's a shortwave trough that is swinging through. That trough is really going to force drier air, drive the dry air that's in southeastern Canada and upstate New York straight southward. So all these streaming high clouds that you see, and there have been quite a bit of them. I thought they were overstated on the models. I guess I sort of underplayed it. We still had it wound up with a fair amount of sunshine out of all of this, which was a good thing. But we're going to see the northern fringe of this cloud line get shifted further and further to the south before tomorrow morning. So we're going to be in good shape. The weekend's not going to be a problem. I'm going to come back to the screen in a moment. But I want to go back to this one so you can see how much dry air there is. It goes all the way back through the Great Lakes. So the push is there, and the moisture is not going to go away. So we've got big rains setting up for the southeastern U.S. and WPC. I don't see any reason why. They do a really good job in their 7-day forecast, but much of this is going to be, well, actually, it does cover pretty much through the middle part of next week because there'll be a second wave. So you're looking at 5-inch plus rainfalls for northeastern Georgia, northern areas of South Carolina, the western half or almost 2/3 of the state of North Carolina, and even where it's a little bit less, you're still talking every bit of 3, 4, 5-inch rainfall amounts that are going to occur from the Florida Panhandle northeastward into southern Virginia. Then the amounts start to tail off a little bit as you go further to the north, but we are seeing some 2 and 3 inch amounts extending up the coast through southern New England. And this is because after whatever we deal with Monday into Tuesday, there's there's going to be a second trough and a second wave that's going to bring precip here for Wednesday night and Thursday. The good news in all of that, by the way, is that next week, a week from today, we will be sitting here talking about what I think will be a very nice Father's Day weekend. Severe weather risk tonight, and this is also, we have also some good news with respect to that for the weekend, in that there isn't really any kind of widespread severe weather issues for the weekend. There's a lot of areas with pretty large geographic area that's under a marginal risk, but we don't have any slight risk or enhanced risk. We do have a slight risk in Georgia today into South Carolina. As of 6:04 Eastern Time, we've got one working and shrinking severe thunderstorm watch in the state of Georgia, and we also have in the northern plains, in the western part of the northern plains, we have a slight to enhanced risk of severe weather as we get this trough that's coming in that's in the northwest that is going to move along. So, and that marginal risk with that, by the way, extends down through the western plains all the way into Texas and northeastern New Mexico. By the way, we should mention that tomorrow is the 151st running of the Belmont Stakes. No weather issues at all. Temperatures will be in the 70s at the racetrack, probably at around 76 or 7 at the start of the race. I think post time is 6:40. And as far as track conditions are concerned, during the day tomorrow for all the big stakes races that are going on besides the Belmont, including the Met Mile, you have you're going to have a fast main track and a firm turf course, which is a good thing. So handicap accordingly. Here's what the surface map looks like tonight. Of course, yesterday's front is now down in North Carolina. We've got this stalled frontal boundary going all the way back westward into Tennessee and Kentucky. Low pressure in eastern Arkansas. Tropical dew points all throughout the southeast and into the Carolinas, although it's a little different today, I think, with respect to temperatures, because yesterday we had temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 in parts of the Carolinas, but with more cloud cover to deal with today, it's low 80s and unreasonably high dew points. So it still feels every bit as soupy, but at least it's not pushing the steam bath up to 90 degrees. But we've got dew points up in the low to mid 70s all throughout this region. So we are truly socked in with tropical air, make no mistake. And with regards to what's going on the radar tonight, from Virginia, there's a little bit more overrunning precip that's going on. I mean, we do have embedded showers and thunderstorms in here, but there's also some overrunning precip that we're seeing across Virginia, back through the western part of the state and into West Virginia and Kentucky. That also extends into parts of northwestern North Carolina. Otherwise, everything starts to look a bit more where it's more clustered, and then you've got these areas in between where not much is going on. You can see the storms swinging into the state of Georgia and over the Florida Panhandle. And of course, you can also see the rotation of the upper low, because the echoes back through Missouri and Arkansas are being thrown back westward. There is no northward progress with this. There's a wall there that sits across the Delmarva Peninsula to just about to the Washington, D.C., or just south of the Washington, D.C. area, and going westward from there. This rain, as close as it is going to get locked away and not head up this way until Sunday night or on Monday. So we're running over to the weather maps tonight. The same ideas. The models have been rather consistent with the way the picture that they're painting going forward. There's your rain in the Mid-Atlantic and South Atlantic states. The new GFS will take us out 90 hours, and then we'll switch over. High pressure right there over James Bay. It's been very well advertised. You can see that high pressing down. The rain makes no progress north. Now we're into Saturday night. You got a weak low in Tennessee with a kind of the high sort of wedged in there in the Carolinas for later tomorrow. But again, no northward progress. Sunday morning, you're seeing rain getting into Maryland. I think the GFS might be a little bit too aggressive with the northern extent of this, and will probably be more suppressed. In fact, between Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, the rain actually kind of shifts a little bit southwestward. The bottom line is, I think for my area, is that we're fine through Sunday. Certainly no rain. Maybe there will be some cloud issues coming in for southern New Jersey and southern Pennsylvania during Sunday in late morning, afternoon. But they're going to struggle to move northward. It's Monday that you'll start to get this lifting. The high pulls out. The trough swings around in the Great Lakes, lifts up the southern part of the southern part of the jet, what's left of it anyway, lifts it up, and we get into some downpours later Monday night into Tuesday, until a cold front comes through. That front is going to stall, and we're probably going to get another wave that's going to develop on it. So I'll show you how it plays out on the upper air. And that's for later next week. But here we are So we've got that nice protective ridge. Here we have this upper high sitting over New Jersey and Pennsylvania, Long Island, New York State for early Sunday morning. You've got this shortwave trough that is with probably a bit of an open upper air low sitting in Kentucky. That's all that tropical moisture trying to go northward. That ridge is holding it back, and it's still there Sunday evening. It finally begins to give way by Monday morning, and now you've got this short wave in the north. You see that there moving through the Great Lakes for Monday night and Tuesday, and then the next trough drops right in as models have been indicating for Wednesday and Thursday. So that's why we think this front is going to stall. If you look at the way the height lines are in the southeast, you've got a south-southwest flow setting up from Georgia, South Carolina into Virginia. So anything that's moisture-wise down in here is going to want to move right up the coast, either along the coast or just off the coast. But I think it's going to bring another round of rain to parts of the coastal northeast for late Wednesday, or maybe more than likely Wednesday night into Thursday. That trough there is still pretty far to the west. And the good news is that this is the last one as the upper air kind of changes a bit or realigns. It's probably a better way of looking at it. Once this pulls through and this trough goes goodbye next weekend, we've got a nice ridge, kind of a west to east flow across the United States with the jet stream extending down into Kansas and Nebraska. But the bottom line, at least for the east, is that the weather, if we want to look ahead to next weekend, could wind up being pretty decent. This is, you count the Memorial Day holiday weekend, where what little rain we got, it happened at night. And then looking at last weekend and this coming weekend, 3 weekends in a row of decent weather overall. If it rains a little bit at night, who cares? Unless you're doing something in the early morning hours. And that's where what the weekend rain has been pretty much confined to. By the way, there's nothing in the tropics. It's all nice and quiet out there. And I suppose, given the fact that when you have a trough that looks like this, you kind of maybe should be happy that there's nothing, at least off the southeast coast, because it would make for a pretty close call for a system moving up the east coast. If you look at the top of the picture here in the right around in the middle of the picture up near Greenland, you've got kind of a blocky look to things, and it's creating this troughing here in the eastern part of the United States. But again, that after Wednesday and early Thursday, with whatever we get with the second wave, that lifts out, and then I think the weather's going to be nice for Father's Day weekend, and things in the atmosphere seem to be wanting to move along. And in fact, in the longer term, kind of trying to build a ridge here more in the eastern part of the United States toward the last 10 days or so of the month, and a trough dropping into the west. So perhaps we could wind up getting into some very warm weather to borderline hot weather toward the end of the month of June. Long way to go. Today's only the 7th, but we're starting to think ahead that since we are getting ready to go into the summer season, it would probably be logical to assume that we should be getting into some sort of a summery pattern. So coming back to the board, just really quick, folks. As I said, being a Friday night, you want to do a few things. By the way, I see the chairman is back, Scott Briller, as Mom's making progress, and you guys have been talking, so good that he's back on the board tonight. Collective hello to everybody. Lisa Nieves, nice to see you on board. Anthony Orr, James NASCAR, Mirtha Gunter, Robert Brown, I don't remember, Chris Alley is on tonight, Jason Schaefer, and I hope I don't miss anybody. I got Robert Brown in there, so that's good. Let's see. I thought I saw Johnny Quest on earlier. Yep, he's here. Okay, so just really quick, tomorrow with the, Anthony Orr reminded me, I usually spend a little bit of time looking at the races, especially when we get to the Triple Crown, but I just haven't had a chance to. So honestly, I don't like the horses in the race tomorrow at all. Which leads me to bet Jovia, because the first three letters are J-O-E. It's as good a reason as any. He'll be the longest shot of the board. He'll be coming out of the one hole. And, if he gets out on the lead, who knows? That'll be about the only way he'll be able to win that race. But you know what? You got two horses, I believe, that are 9-5 and 8-5. I'm not too comfortable betting either one. So I would take the 30-1 shot and just go with that, and we'll see what happens. It's not the field tomorrow. To me, it just does not impress. Okay, that's my never to be humble opinion. No guarantees here from the management. All right, so we're going to leave it at that, folks. A 15-minute live stream tonight instead of the usual 30 to 40. So go out, have a great time. If you're headed out tonight, travel safely, enjoy your weekend. So just to let you know, there will be the weather in 5 days in 5 minutes, both on Saturday and on Sunday. I don't know if I will get around to a live stream tomorrow. I will say I probably won't get around to a live stream tomorrow. Maybe a better chance of doing one, a longer live stream later Sunday or Sunday evening as we watch this rain move northward, and if anything else winds up happening as we go into next week. We'll see what the weather world brings, but we'll take a little bit of a break from the longer live stream tomorrow. But you got your weather in 5, so look for that tomorrow. And on Sunday, enjoy your weekend. And if you got access to a beach and you're in my area, go for it. It's going to be nice at the shore, too, because temperatures are going to be in the upper 60s and low 70s. You're going to have a nice northeast breeze. Inland temperatures are going to be in the reasonable 70s to around 80. Not that hot, not that humid. Take advantage of it, because once the real hot and humid weather get in here, you're only going to be wishing for it to go away. Have a great night and a great weekend, folks. We'll see you either some point over the weekend, if not on